Here is the thing about this ad creative type. It is incredibly effective. However, if you don't do it correctly, you run the risk of your ad getting disapproved, and even in extreme cases, I've seen this ad type disable entire accounts. What's up, marketers? Today's video is going to be about one of the most effective types of creatives on Facebook ads and TikTok ads, and that is the before and after ad. And essentially what this ad does is it shows the before and after impact of using your product or service. However, what is so difficult about this ad is that technically Facebook says that you can't do it. Specifically, they say that you cannot use before and after ads to show idealized results, which is kind of vague, right? However, in my experience, I've seen this relate to mostly weight loss ads or even cosmetic procedure ads. And there are a number of hacks that I like to use to get around this. So I'm gonna go into these 4 strategies that you need to try to make sure that your before and after ads get approved by Facebook. And the first strategy is to show the progression of time. So instead of showing a before and after image, what I really liked about this Everbody ad is that it showed somebody's skin at the age of 25 and then again at the age of 30. And what's really cool about this ad, this is UGC image content. Super easy to get and to make, and it's incredibly effective. Another ad that shows this progression of time strategy really well is this ad from Hers. And what's cool about this ad is that it shows the progression of someone's skin from before they started using the products to 4 weeks later. So I actually think that something I'd like to play with a little bit more in regards to this strategy is using carousels to show this type of progression. Now, another strategy that I like to use to get my before and after ads approved is instead of using the words before and after, I actually like to use the words with and without. And essentially what this is doing is it's showing the implied impact with your product or service, and then what life is without your product or service. And what I've found is that instead of using the phrase before and after, which does tend to trigger sometimes these ad disapprovals, by using with or without, I'm able to get around or circumvent that flagging. So these ads are much more likely to be approved. And I think that's a pretty easy swap too. So if you already have some before and after ads, you can go ahead and make that swap with that language. It's pretty simple. The third strategy that I like to try out here is what I consider the implied without, or the implied with. So you're not directly calling out a with or without. And this is actually really, really similar to the us versus them ad, which is again another strategy that I think works really well and communicates a lot of the same value props that this before and after ad is trying to demonstrate. I think that this ad, particularly by Pro's Hair, does a really good job of it, but I will say it does make me a little nervous that they have before and after right below. And that's probably because they actually have a partner manager that they work with really closely at Facebook, so they're able to flag these creatives ahead of time and make sure they get through the system, or if they do get disapproved, then they're able to be reapproved pretty quickly. And I know many of you are working with smaller budgets. You probably don't have a partner manager unless you're working at an agency. And essentially what a partner manager is someone who partners with really big brands or even agencies to help them manage and run their Facebook ad accounts, kind of like a Facebook marketing expert, but these people are actually a lot more helpful. Another implied with or without ad that I've seen a lot that I really like is this ad from the Wild Alaskan Fish Company. And this is pretty much just like an us versus them ad. So again, if you are trying to test into this before and after strategy a little bit more, try and think about a us versus them type of ad that you can use that is a little bit more broad. So in this instance, they have like a grocery store brand versus the Wild Alaskan Company, which I think is really effective. Also, as a wild card for this implied without strategy or us versus them strategy, which I'm just kind of lumping into one specific strategy, I found this Made Men ad. I don't actually think it's an ad. I think it's just a like organic post, but I thought that something like this would actually be cool as a before and after ad. And really what it's showing is the implied impact of forgetting to bring your skincare, which is kind of funny. So I think something that could be kind of cool with this strategy is if you used a meme style ad to communicate that, it could be something that's interesting. And if your branding allows something like that, is definitely something that I would test. And the last strategy or hack that I want to talk about is something that I have been encouraging my team to test into a little bit more, which is Instagram stories polls. Now, I think that this renovation company actually did this really well, and it's asking if your home is the before or after. Again, I think that this language does make me a little bit nervous, but you could also do an implied with or without, an us versus them, or even a more explicit with or without, or show the progression of time. And I think something like that could be really cool. But I think that, getting people to engage more with your ads, especially on Instagram stories, is something that I really want to try testing into more, and I think could really work across a wide array of brands. And that's it. Now, I know I went through several strategies here, but I'd love to hear back from you guys to hear how before and after ads are working with you, and if you're still getting a lot of those disapprovals. I do find that, especially when using before and after explicit language, that my ads do tend to get flagged. But again, since we have a partner manager at Thesis, we are able to get those reapproved. But for those that don't have partner managers, that is just a little bit more of an extra hurdle. So I'm really eager to see you guys try these strategies. So please, when you go and create these ads, send them to me. What I'd like to actually start doing is reviewing more of your ads on these channels so that I can give you guys more direct feedback and everyone can benefit. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Leave me some links to your Facebook ads library, or even a specific ad that you'd like me to review in the next video. All right, I will see you guys in a few days. Bye.